Hello and welcome to leahguzmanstudio.com. Today we are going to be learning about the chakras and specifically connecting art to the chakras. So, as a Creative Soul Society, we have voted on bringing this back this year. So, the Creative Soul Society membership is going strong, 5-year anniversary happening in August. Super stoked. And I like to ask the members, what do they want to experience? And one of the things that came up, I didn't even put this in the poll, but they wanted to learn more about the chakras and how to incorporate art in this process of healing and manifesting, which is awesome because I wanted to give you an overview and what inspired me to actually create the book, The Art of Healing and Manifesting, Creative Exercises for Living in Abundance, and also the Oracle deck, because it literally came from meeting in community and practicing the principles of the chakras, and this came from those experiences. So this is our techniques to get you into that creative flow. So I wanted to start with where I got this information and inspiration to create the book as well. So several years ago, a really good friend of mine, Liz Portuento, one of our founding members of the Creative Soul Society membership, she gave me this book to read, Wheels of Life by Anodia Judith, A User's Guide to the Chakra System. I was going to say, this is a really thick book with so much information. And you might be saying, well, what is a chakra, right? So a chakra is a spinning wheel, right? So that's why it's called Wheels of Life. So we have this spinning wheels, energy centers in our body. As you can see here, Anudia put artwork on here that shows you the different colors that resonate at a certain frequency when the wheels are spinning. Looks like a rainbow going up the body, right? And the principles behind this is that we want our chakras to spin at a certain frequency so that we feel balanced. And what happens is sometimes we get imbalanced. And what does that feel like? Okay. So usually if we're imbalanced, we're going to feel it in our body. Certain emotions are going to come up. And I'm going to share with you some artwork that I've created for inspiration so that you can kind of understand what's that like for you. And maybe you can already identify, oh yeah, there's a certain area in my body that I'm holding this resistance or this imbalance in, and how it shows up in your life, because it's all interconnected. And that's what I like to talk to you about and teach you more about it. So yes, I was inspired by reading this book, learning the knowledge. And what came from it is that I was like, wow, all this knowledge can be put into an artistic way that we can actually create art about each of the chakras and learn about our life, learn about like what's happening inside of us. And we can do this in 2 different ways. Okay, so the reason why I call it the art of healing is because the energy moves up and the energy moves down. Okay, so when we are in a healing space, when we need to heal, when we need to balance those chakras, it moves from that root chakra going up to the sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown. It's moving up. That's called sublimation. We want to release energy that is making us feel stuck, right? Because we hold that energy in our body. We have to release it. Art is a really great way to release it. Exercise is a great way. So a lot of healing modalities to move the energy. I like art because I'm an art therapist, right? Yeah, so that sublimation, that's about moving that energy up. Now there's another way to use the chakra system, and that's why it's called manifesting. So we can use the chakras to manifest, meaning that we are co-creating with the universe, and that's where it's coming from, the crown, and we're moving that energy down through the crown to the third eye, to the throat, to the heart, to the solar plexus, to the sacral chakra, down rooted to the ground, and seeing it show up in our life, the desires that we have that we want to manifest. Okay, so in this book, I incorporated ways to heal the chakras, but also the way to manifest. And we actually started with the crown in the book. So that's why I started with the crown chakra and moving it down. In my 21-day course, we start with the healing. This is a 21-day healing art journal course. That is, we start with that root chakra and move it up. So I just wanted to explain that to you of how you can use this book and then how we're going to be using it in the Creative Soul Society. We're actually doing another round, very exciting, another round of chakra art. And I want to show you different ways that you can go about it. I'm going to give you an example. So this is some chakra art. We're working with sacred geometry. We have the flower of life. This is that crown chakra art, right? So it says divinely guided. So setting our intentions of what do we want? How do we want to co-create with the universe? So we're actually going to be starting this process Monday, August 4th, with the crown chakra and setting our intentions. And I'm going to teach you some ways to fuse that into your art making. Next up, I'm going to do this on a weekly basis. What you seek is seeking you. So this is actually that third eye chakra. So it's looking at different ways of being divinely guided, right? Listening to the sign, following the synchronicities, and really, taking that leap of faith, listening to your intuition more than your mind, because your mind can be very limited. But when you co-create with the universe, you're guided in a bigger way. We then move to the throat chakra, and this one says, my gifts are fully expressed. So I have my logo of my business, which is Leah Guzman Studio, and being able to create my art, being able to co-create with my community, and making my art dreams come true, right? My creative empire. So being able to express yourself is super important, right? This is also verbally expressing your desires, but also being able to take in information and really listening to others too, right? And part of that process, you are co-creating. So this is the heart chakra. As you can see, I have the Creative Soul Society t-shirt on, and I actually, this is one of my little birds, the little warbler, who is telling us to stand in our power. That's why she has a little crown, right? So connecting with others is so important. Community can amplify the magic. So something in community that has come up, especially in the poll that I put out into the community, is grief work, okay? So when we talk about that heart chakra, and we're talking about like being balanced or imbalanced, the heart, when we are connected with others, when we are open to receive love and give love, that brings that peace, right? But grief can actually imbalance the heart, right? So whether it's a breakup, whether it's losing someone that you love or a pet, grief can cause imbalance. So it was requested to do some grief work. We're actually going to be doing grief work around the heart chakra. I'm going to have to add another session in here for the grief work, but we are going to be doing grief work in this particular chakra session that's going to be happening. So moving down, so that is healing work, right? And then the manifesting work would be connecting with others, moving down that energy to that solar plexus of being in your power. And what does that look like? So we can do this in a visual way. For this particular art piece, I did the bees, being in thriving community, right? And this is symbolic of the Creative Soul Society. So we are going to be looking at symbols that are powerful for you to create your chakra art. And again, we can work on the healing aspect or the manifesting. So this particular aspect was for manifesting, and then moving that energy down to the sacral. So the sacral chakra is below the navel, and this is all about finding your joy. This is a container for your emotions in that sacral chakra. It's related to the moon. It's watery, just like the solar plexus is very fiery. So we look at the different elements, and we look at the different colors that are associated with the chakras, right? So this sacral chakra is associated, like I said, the element of the moon, water, and the color orange. So I did a moon, actually, like more of a blood moon for this particular chakra. So it's looking at bringing in joy, being, it's all about sensuality and enjoying sensual pleasures. When it gets imbalanced is when you block out the joy, right? When you're not allowing that good stuff to come in. Or it could be maybe your chakra is spinning too fast and you overindulge. Maybe you're drinking too much or shopping too much or doing too much of something. So it's spinning too fast versus spinning too slow. So we're looking for that right frequency. So again, blocked by guilt, okay, or lack of joy, right? So we want to definitely be tapping into that joy. All right, and last but not least, that we'll be focused on in the root chakra for the chakra series. And this is really similar, I just realized, to the Wheels of Life artwork, right? Someone meditating and manifesting. So the universe provides is the message here. Yes, and so we have, it's the element of the earth, the color red. If you don't feel grounded, if you don't feel safe, if you don't feel secure, this is an imbalance in your root chakra. So this is also related to family, it's related to money. A lot of basic needs come from that root chakra. So we want to feel grounded. We also want to know that the universe is providing, that we feel supported in our desires. So I'm going to be guiding you and doing different art experiences related to each of the chakras. We want to dive deeper. Obviously, this is just a quick video doing an overview of what this entails. But for each week, we're going to dive deeper and learning more about the chakra, what it feels like to be balanced, what it feels like to be imbalanced, and how we can move that energy to manifest our desires and create an abundance life. So from the 5 years of practicing in the Creative Soul Society, like I mentioned, that's where the Art of Healing Manifesting book, it's our book club for this week. I also created the Oracle deck. So I'm going to pull a card. This card will be for everyone. Community card. These cards came from these meetings as well. So on one side is my artwork, the other side is a message. So I'm just going to pull a card. Let's see what we need to hear today. So I love this stuff. I love talking about the chakras. I love talking about energy. I love talking about art and how it's healing. So if this is something that resonates with you, you're welcome to join us in this 7-week intensive in the Creative Soul Society, or I have a full week intensive at the Omega Institute in September, from September 7th to the 12th. You're welcome to join me there, where we will be doing a 5-day immersive into the art of healing manifesting. All right, I pulled a card. Ooh, nice. This is the throat chakra, and it says this card is to support effective communication. Listen first. Affirm. I will find the right words to say in all situations and communicate clearly. I am honest and express my true self. Others will hear and receive what I have to say. And so it is. All right. I wish you a beautiful day. Thank you for staying here and being here in this energy. And I'm so excited to create with you and seeing you in our Creative Soul Society. All right. Bye.